Hey guys, I'm here with Brad Arnold, who is the design manager of the new Hyundai Santa Cruz. And Brad, in this video, let's kind of do a walk around and a deep dive into it. Obviously,
Great.
you're not the only guy who designed it, right? You had a whole team of people
Yes.
that you worked with.
Yeah, a lot of great people.
But it was designed in California.
Yes, designed in California. Program that was designed from start to finish by everybody in our building. Lead designer Sanan Franco, but a lot of different people that contributed their part, from the color to the clay to the cast modeling. So a lot of recognition they deserve. Yeah.
And first introduced, if I believe, right, 2015 at
Right.
the Detroit Auto Show, made a big splash, and then it's taken a long time. Well, and maybe not in car production terms, but in human terms, 6 years to bring it, to this stage. So let's start with kind of what your design concept was. Where were you thinking this should fit into the marketplace?
So from a design perspective, we wanted to create something that highlighted the contrast that its environment sort of portrays, right? So we imagine this vehicle, because of its footprint, it's going to be in dense urban environments. It's going to allow you to thrive in those environments because it is a smaller footprint, but it's also going to encourage an escape to the outdoors as well. And that contrast of environments drove sort of the overall aesthetic of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So from its proportions all the way down to its details, we were trying to convey that contrast and those origins.
So let me ask you this question, right? I posed this in our little video. Is it a sport adventure vehicle? Is it a compact pickup, or is it a ute?
It's honestly whatever you want to call it, and I think that's fair for the customer and the viewer to call it whatever they want. We've chosen sport adventure vehicle because we felt like that term was most suited to the vehicle, but it doesn't really matter. It's a Hyundai Santa Cruz. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, so let's kind of walk through the design and tell me what you guys were thinking when you started. Let's start at the front.
So yeah, like I said, the whole vehicle kind of embodies this contrast and this duality that we were speaking about. But starting at the front, it was important to us to create a front end that you couldn't recognize as a traditional pickup. So doing that, we've got the really bold bumper and front grille. We're also utilizing the hidden lamp technology that we have on both the Sonata, the current Tucson. So you've got this one-way chrome finish that the DRLs then shine through, giving the front end a really modern but also tough appearance. In terms of the overall architecture of the front, there's a lot of, again, contrast in the big, powerful volumes, and then you contrast that volume with really sharp precision edges.
Yeah, and I love the color. So what's this color called?
So this is Sage Gray. It was developed by our color team, Liz Curran and Aaron Kim. And they did it's funny, we're shooting this in this environment because I've already noticed that the background, there's a lot of the colors that will come on the vehicle. But yeah, this is Sage Gray. We've also got a tan color and a blue color, not dissimilar from this mural behind us.
So these kind of muted pastels are very popular right now.
Yeah.
You see them on like the Defender.
Yeah.
It just seems to be a color that suggests that it's kind of natural and off-roady and, in harmony with nature.
Totally. And it's like I said, it's funny being in this environment, not just the mural, but if you just look at the landscape, the colors are represented there, the faded blue, the sage gray, sage green, and the tan color. So it's really natural, as you said, to its environment.
All right, so talk to me about kind of the design here. There's a little bit of an Easter egg right there, right? The little Santa Cruz.
Yeah, so you'll find a few of those throughout the vehicle. We've got them at the center line of both wheels. We've got them also in the texture on the bed rail and in the rear center step. We wanted to have fun in the design process of this vehicle, so that's part of it, hiding little Easter eggs like that. But you'll see a lot of enthusiasm and fun that the team had. We also wanted to use the texture to draw your eye to functional areas of the vehicle. So the chassis, the wheels, and the bed compartment is where we applied that texture.
Yeah, I like this line right there. That's kind of unusual, right? This almost like an arrow.
Yeah.
Was that on purpose? Usually this line would usually
carry through.
Right, but now you've got this arrow forming
So a couple of different things on this sort of feature in the front door. One, obviously the brand has evolved into using a lot of sharp edges, angular lines. So there was an intention to make it feel like a family member to the rest of the vehicles in the lineup. But specifically to the Santa Cruz, again, we were talking about the contrast of the full volumes and then sheer edges. The concept car in 2015 had a lot of full volume. But at the time, the brand wasn't using all these sharp angles and sheer edges. So that was a way to kind of communicate that it has a relationship to both the original concept and the brand as it stands right now.
So I was talking to your boss, Chris, right?
Yeah.
And he reminded me of something that I almost forgotten when it first came out in Detroit. It had this funky kind of sliding
drawer,
where you could actually extend the tailgate.
Yeah.
Did you ever actually think about building that, or was that something that was kind of a concept to get attention?
No, there was a lot of different bed innovations that we looked into. Where we ended up, I think, is a happy medium between offering the customer as much innovation as we can while keeping it at a price point that's attractive and works for the customer.
That makes sense. So if you're actually going to have like an accordion back end of the car, that's got to be not only expensive, but I'm sure crash protection has got to be an issue too.
Yeah, reliability and
So let's talk about the bed. So composite, right? So you got composite material.
Composite material. And just, the bed is essentially, it's not exactly, but essentially 4 foot by 4 foot. The height of the wheel wells was intentionally designed so that when the tailgate is in its half open position, you've got essentially a flat load floor from this edge to the upper part of the wheel wells, allowing you to carry 4x8 sheets. Inside the bed, we've got the inner bed compartment that's completely weatherproof. So you can, keep this. It also has a drain, so you can keep your, drinks, ice, anything like that, or, the wetsuit after surfing, so it's not kind of rolling around the tailgate of the truck or the bed of the truck. We've also got kind of side storage compartments available, power in the right side.
And tie downs.
And tie downs, a bunch of different, this cleat system that can go up and down and be adjusted to anywhere you need, and then we also have fixed D-rings.
All right, and tell me about this kind of tonneau cover that disappears into the back of the truck.
Yeah, so the tonneau cover is optional, comes standard with any vehicle with the activity package or above. So it's a standard feature. We felt it was important based on the research. A lot of people are potentially coming out of SUVs and CUVs when they are looking in to purchase this vehicle, and security is very important to them. So that was important to offer a feature like that. The tonneau cover can be removed if you wanted a bit more space and to easier haul mountain bikes, several mountain bikes if you wanted to.
So you said you have a Ducati Desert Sled. Does it fit? That's a kind of a dual sport motorcycle.
I haven't tried the Ducati Desert Sled, but my Husqvarna 350 does without the tonneau cover.
All right, cool. Yeah. So and is it pretty easy to remove? I mean, how hard is it?
Yeah, if you're somewhat handy, you either you buy the one without the tonneau cover, or if you did buy the optional tonneau cover, there's 9 bolts altogether, and then you can remove the tonneau.
Okay, and then this is the prototype vehicle, but you said the windshield will actually, the rear screen will come down, so you can open that.
Yes, on the production version, there's a small pass-through window that has a defroster on it as well, and it'll slide.
Okay, and then the spare tire is underneath, like in a traditional pickup truck.
Right.
And I noticed that you guys also went with these steps that Chevy kind of does in their full-size trucks. Yeah,
it was important. I've utilized that step countless times in pickups that I've owned in the past, and I love that feature, so it was important to offer that functionality. So 3 different stepping surfaces, and this is the one that you would likely utilize if the tailgate's down. From a design perspective on the rear end, it was important again to communicate that this is not a traditional pickup, and the main way we did that is to drag a horizontal light signature rather than what you always see as a vertical light signature on the corner. It emphasizes the increased width of the vehicle, but it also again communicates that this is something new, something different.
Yeah, and I'm picturing already all-terrain tires on this. I'm picturing like a rooftop tent.
Yes. Yes.
I'm picturing.
Well, you think like a designer then, because all of our sketches have all that type of stuff on it.
Yeah. Let's talk about availability. When will it hit the market?
So it's start of production. Don't quote me on this. Right. Probably there's better people to answer this, but start of production is June or July, I believe, and it should be in dealerships later in the summer. That's from what I understand.
Yeah. So coming. Let's jump in the inside.
Sure.
So obviously, one of the things that stands out immediately are these 2 big screens. Mm-hmm. And for me, the lack of a volume and a tuning button. Why did you decide to go with this kind of clean, touch surface?
Well, I'll start by saying that this interior is carryover from the Tucson mostly, except for the shifter, if I'm not mistaken. So from the team that designed the exterior, we had little or nothing to do with the interior design of this actual interior. But that team was designing something at the time for the Tucson, so very modern, very high-tech, wanting to keep everything very clean and flush. And it actually ends up contrasting with the exterior quite a lot, which has been a good thing. All the feedback that we've gotten is that it's good that it doesn't feel like a traditional pickup interior. When I get in here, I feel like I'm in a very modern interior that offers all the conveniences that I would expect in a vehicle not similar to a truck.
And you've got this kind of dual canopy, reminiscent of a Mustang, right? I mean, I think Mustang is probably the most iconic vehicle that does this. and then you've got a regular sunroof. And interestingly, I sat in the back. There's actually room in the back, even with your driving position. I'm pretty tall.
Yeah.
Was that something that you guys wanted to make sure that it would fit 4 or 5 people comfortably?
Absolutely. Yeah. We like I mentioned earlier when we were talking off camera about this camping trip that we went on when the project kicked off to gain a little bit more experience in different size SUVs and trucks, to kind of see what was out there and then set a goal for what we wanted to accomplish. And the rear row roominess was important, right? Because we want to hit the sweet spot in terms of bed length, but we want you to be comfortable back there. So that was the compromise we had to make. But you're right, it does end up being very roomy and comfortable in the back seat.
Yeah, and the other cool thing is, obviously, with any pickup, let's say you're going to go pick somebody up at the airport, you have no place to put their luggage, but with this, at least, you could put luggage and then cover it up and have a secure place where you can actually, or go on vacation, right? Because you're going to use up all the passenger room for passengers.
Absolutely, yep.
All right, I'm going to give you a softball question.
Uh-oh.
What's your favorite part of the vehicle? What are you the most proudest of?
I would say if it was one specific feature, I think the front end theme just feels, it encapsulates everything we were trying to do with the rest of the vehicle. It feels bold, it feels strong, but it feels modern and premium at the same time. And I think that contrast is what we were searching for in the entire vehicle, and I think the front end does that the best. But in general, I think the balance of these contrasting elements throughout the vehicle is what I'm most proud of.
Let me put you on the spot. Are you going to get yourself one?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
This is one of those rare cases where you'll be designing a vehicle that a lot of us are going to end up owning. So we felt like we were designing ultimately a vehicle for ourselves.
That's cool.
So yeah, definitely.
I mean, look, here's the thing with pickup trucks, right? Most of them, like 1 in 4 pickup trucks are sold in Texas.
Right.
And the reason is because pickup trucks usually don't fit in a city.
Right.
Even midsize, right? So, there's 3 traditional sizes of pickups. There's midsize, full size, and heavy duty, right?
Right.
And this would slot in underneath there.
Yeah.
So, it's actually smaller than a Ridgeline, which is kind of its closest competitor.
Right.
But it's the kind of vehicle I feel like you could have in LA and park in your garage, whereas, you might not have that ability with a full-size pickup.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then as the project progressed, I realized more and more how perfect of a fit this is for a lot of the people that worked on it. So I hope that enthusiasm comes across, because I live in the situation that you're talking about. I live in a beach town, so parking is always a nightmare. So if we go to a lunch spot, we always have to use my wife's Santa Fe or whatever vehicles we've owned in the past, not my full-size pickup. So this can do both. We can get me out to the mountain bike trails, camping in Joshua Tree, whatever outdoor activities we want to do, but more realistically on a day-to-day basis, I'm not struggling to find a parking spot.
Tommy, any questions I should be asking you want to ask?
That was perfect, no?
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate
absolutely.
you taking the time to show us around. And, like I was telling Chris, I think this is one vehicle that we want to buy and test. So I'm looking forward to actually getting it off-road and seeing, how it fits into the real environment, right?
Sure.
Which is what you designed it for, not
right.
just sitting here
as
a stationary vehicle.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much.